Hi, my name is Andrea Haubner, and today we're going to be learning a little bit about community gardening and how to do that. So I got interested in community gardening because of the past volunteer work that I've done here in Blacksburg and also all over the New River Valley. So you're probably wondering, what is a community garden? Well, as the title of it, it's a garden that's kept up and maintained by the community. A more specific definition from the University of California says that a community garden is any piece of land gardened by a group of people utilizing either individual or shared plots on private or public land. So some benefits of community gardens is that they're a good source of fruits and vegetables, especially in areas that rarely have access to crops and just playing in the dirt. Another benefit is that it increases unity and development within communities. It brings communities together through a common goal. So if your community has some sort of conflict that's divided it in the past, it's a great way to bring the community together. And then lastly, it can be utilized both internationally and domestically. It's just a very versatile method. So the actual steps to creating a community garden. The first step is to gauge your interest. You're going to want to figure out how many people are interested and if that's enough. A great way to do that is to have a meeting. In that meeting, you're going to want to discuss the need, if a community garden is actually needed in your community. And then you're going to want to determine what type of garden that you need. So that could be like a vegetable or flower garden. You're just going to need to ask yourself those questions in that meeting and talk to your community. Basically, this process is just going to be asking a lot of questions. Step 2 is to appoint leaders. These are just some characteristics that your leader should have. They should be passionate about the topic. It would also help if they had some background knowledge on gardening. And then they're going to want to be enthusiastic because you're trying to, the goal of this is to try and involve a lot of the community. So the more enthusiastic they are, the more enthusiastic other people are going to be about the project. They're going to want to be organized, especially in the beginning of your project. It takes a lot of time commitment just because of the nature of getting it started up. And they're also going to want to have connections within the community since, once again, you're trying to involve lots of people. Step 3 is to find a location. Once again, the best way to do this is to talk to people in your community and find a spot based on that. When you're looking for that location, obviously you're going to want it to have adequate sun, have it in a sunny spot. It's going to need to have access to some resources, mainly water. If it doesn't have access to water, then your garden's not going to go very far. If you're trying to test out between different areas, a good way to do this would be to test the soil for nutrients and chemicals. So then that can help be a determining factor in your location. Step 4 is to actually obtain your resources. So you're going to want to look into the community for gardening equipment and also people with gardening knowledge. In the beginning, if you establish that you want to partner with community partners, you're going to want to communicate with them about that because oftentimes they'll have some of the resources that you need, whether that's people or actual physical resources. So an example of a community partner would be like the YMCA or a church. And then lastly, you're going to want to set your budget in this step first with the leadership and then with everyone who's involved in your community garden. Step 5 is to plan the garden and the actual rules of the garden. So if you didn't know, community gardens are organized into different plots. So for example, plot 1